Did you know that every single day, our heart beats over 100,000 times just to keep us alive? It works silently, without complaint, without demand. And yet, the paradox is this. Most of us only begin to pay attention to the heart when it speaks up, through chest pain, an irregular beat, or a restless night of shortness of breath. I've met so many patients who've said to me, if only I had known earlier, if only I had been careful when I was still healthy. And sometimes, those if-onlys come too late. According to the American Heart Association, more than 6 million Americans are living with heart failure. And globally, the number is almost unimaginable, over 64 million cases. You see, the risk is always present, and sometimes it comes from things that seem harmless, like a bunch of grapes, a morning glass of orange juice, or a few refreshing slices of watermelon on a summer day. I know that for decades we've all heard the familiar saying, eat plenty of fruit, it's good for your health. And for the most part, that's true. But once we cross into our 50s and 60s, the rules of the body begin to change. What was once good can become a burden. Our heart muscle is no longer as strong as it was in our 20s. Our kidneys don't filter as well. Blood sugar becomes less stable, and blood pressure begins to climb. At that point, certain fruits, once seen as friends, can turn into silent betrayers. One of my patients, Linda, age 67, had a habit of eating grapes regularly. They're sweet, small, so easy to eat. How could fruit ever hurt me, she said. But after months of weight gain and unstable blood sugar, she came to me with rapid heartbeat and constant fatigue. We discovered that the amount of fructose from the grapes she ate each evening, sometimes half a large bunch, was no different than eating a chocolate bar every day. Grapes aren't bad, but when consumed without control, they can quietly push the heart to the edge. I want you to imagine this. Your heart is like an engine that has run millions of miles. It needs clean fuel, just enough, not overload. But if you flood it with sugar, overload it with potassium, or drown it with excess fluids from watermelon, it's like forcing an old engine to run at top speed all day long. Sooner or later, it will stall. The sad part is, many of us don't even realize it. We think a banana every morning is always good. We believe a fresh glass of orange juice is the symbol of a healthy American breakfast. But science tells a different story. Too much potassium from bananas can disrupt heart rhythm if you have kidney disease or take heart medications. And orange juice, with its rapidly absorbed sugar, is no different than drinking a can of soda. A 2019 Harvard study in Circulation showed that people who regularly drank fruit juice had a higher risk of cardiovascular death compared to those who ate whole fruits in moderation. I emphasize the words, in moderation. The problem has never been that fruit is bad. It's that our aging bodies can no longer handle the excess. I remember another patient, Richard, 72, who once told me, "Doctor, I never thought watermelon could make it harder for me to breathe." He loved eating watermelon in the summer, sometimes half a large one in a sitting. For a healthy person, it's fine, but with his weakened heart, that much fluid caused dangerous fluid buildup. A tight chest, labored breathing, all from a fruit that seemed harmless. Have you ever felt that way? Eating something that was supposed to be healthy, only to notice your heart racing, your stomach unsettled, or an unusual fatigue afterward? If so, perhaps your body is sending a signal. Enough, I'm not the same as before. Science can be complicated, but let me put it simply. A 60-year-old heart is not the same as a 30-year-old heart. It is more fragile. It needs more care. And sometimes the best thing we can do for it is not to add more, but to take away. Less sugar, fewer potassium overloads, fewer unconscious sugar cravings. So what should we do? I never tell my patients to stop eating fruit completely. That's neither realistic nor necessary. Instead, choose fruits that are lower in sugar, higher in fiber, rich in antioxidants, like apples, pears, strawberries, blueberries. Not only are they safer, but they also strengthen your blood vessels against the attack of aging. And most importantly, listen to your body. A small banana a few times a week may be fine, But don't make it a daily ritual if you have heart or kidney problems. A glass of orange juice on a Sunday morning may be acceptable, but don't let it become a daily ritual. The heart doesn't need rituals. It needs balance. You see, our heart never stops. It has been with you for decades, through every high and low, every spring, and every winter of your life. It has kept rhythm for both your joys and your sorrows. So the least you can do is not to burden it further with the hidden weight of sweet but dangerous fruits. When I look into the eyes of patients who've survived heart failure, I always see the same thing: regret. They often say, "If I had known this earlier, I would have lived differently." And I don't want you, the one watching this video, to ever have to say those words. If only. Let your heart rest. Make wise choices. And remember, moderation is not just a diet rule. It is a philosophy of life for the years after 50. So next time you reach for another bunch of grapes, or think about pouring another glass of orange juice, ask yourself, does my heart really need this? If the answer is uncertain, then perhaps the best choice is to stop. Your heart is the only engine life has given you. Nurture it with wisdom and gratitude, so it can keep beating for the precious moments yet to come. You know, there's something I often tell my patients. Fruit is like people. Some are wonderful friends, but some can be harmful companions if you don't keep a healthy distance. Today, let's look at 10 fruits that may seem harmless, yet can quietly become a burden on the heart once we reach our 50s and 60s. 1. Grapes. Nature's candy. Think back. How many times have you sat watching TV with a big bunch of grapes in front of you, popping one after another without even counting? Grapes are small, sweet, and easy to eat. So easy that we forget just a handful has the same sugar as a candy bar. One of my patients, Linda, loved grapes. She had pre-diabetes, yet every evening she could finish half a big bunch. After a few months, her weight shot up, her blood sugar swung wildly, and most frightening of all, her heartbeat grew irregular. Grapes weren't to blame, but her unconscious habit made her heart pay the price. Science shows grapes have a fairly high glycemic index. A younger body can still handle that fructose, but in older adults, the sugar more easily turns into fat, clogging the liver and blood vessels. I often tell my patients, a few grapes bring joy. A whole bunch becomes a burden. Have you ever done that? Eaten grape after grape, only to realize later your heart was racing? If so, that was your body ringing the alarm. 2. Bananas, a double-edged sword. I remember James, age 70, who came to see me with irregular heartbeats. He swore he lived healthily, exercising, eating bananas every morning. Bananas are famous as a potassium-rich superfood, but what he didn't know was that his aging heart and kidneys could no longer handle the potassium load. The result? Dangerously high potassium levels, leading to abnormal rhythms. Bananas are the perfect example of the saying, too much of a good thing becomes harmful. A small banana a few times a week is fine, but making it a daily ritual can turn it into a double-edged sword. 3. Pineapple, tropical sweetness with hidden traps. I once visited a patient in Florida who told me, I love eating pineapple after dinner. It makes me feel light. But pineapple ranks among the highest in glycemic index. Each serving spiked her blood sugar, straining her arteries. Its acidity often caused reflux, sometimes mistaken by older patients as heart pain. I often say, eating pineapple is like drinking wine. A few bites are enjoyable. A whole plate is trouble. 4. Watermelon, sweet but excessive. Summer in America isn't complete without watermelon, but remember, it's 92% water. For a healthy heart, refreshing. For a weak one, a burden. Richard, age 72, once ate half a melon on a hot afternoon. That night he was hospitalized with shortness of breath and swelling. The sugar in watermelon also adds up, damaging vessels over time. 5. Oranges and orange juice, a false symbol of health. I grew up with the American breakfast image of a glass of orange juice, but the reality is it's just natural soda. A medium orange has 12 grams of sugar. 1 glass of juice equals 2 to 3 oranges, minus the fiber. Susan, 65, drank juice every morning. Her blood sugar and cholesterol rose. Eating one orange is fine. Drinking juice is like flooding your blood with sugar. 6. Cherries. Sweet as first love, risky in excess. 1 cup of cherries packs 20 grams of sugar. For diabetics or heart patients, that's a shock. Maria ate them daily. Her cholesterol and triglycerides spiked. Cherries prove danger isn't in size but in density. 7. Dried fruit, the trap of convenience. 1 cup of raisins has 85 grams of sugar, double that of soda. Eleanor swapped candy for dates, thinking it was healthier, but her blood sugar, liver, and heart all worsened. I tell patients, save dried fruit for special occasions and only a few bites. 8. Ripe mangoes, sweet but over the top. Ripe mangoes are high in sugar, spiking blood sugar fast. 1 slice brings happiness. A whole mango becomes a burden. 9. Overripe pears, a sweet misunderstanding. Soft, overripe pears are easy to chew, but lower in fiber, higher in sugar, raising blood glucose fast. A 68-year-old patient told me, I love mushy pears, but I always feel dizzy and my heart races after. 10. Bottled fruit juice, health's hidden enemy. The label 100% natural fools many, but most bottled juices are loaded with sugar and stripped of fiber. A small bottle has as much sugar as soda. I call it soda in disguise. Reflection and takeaway. You see, not all fruits are bad, but every fruit has its limits. I don't ask you to stop eating them. I just want you to be mindful before popping that grape, slice of pineapple, or glass of juice. Our hearts have been with us for decades, enduring feasts, stress, sleepless nights. Now it needs gentleness and balance. Are you willing to give it that care? Imagine this. Every food choice today is a contract with your heart for tomorrow. Choose moderation, you sign for peace. Choose indulgence, you sign for risk. And your heart will execute that contract faithfully, never late, never wrong. My dear friend, if you've stayed with me all the way to this point, it means you truly care about your heart. And I want you to know this. That alone is already a wonderful beginning. Because change never begins in the emergency room or with a prescription. It begins with awareness. With that very moment you ask yourself, can I live better for my heart? I've been a doctor for decades, witnessing countless lives. Some patients came to me when there was still a chance to change, but others only arrived when it was already too late. They would lie on the hospital bed, eyes filled with both gratitude and regret, whispering, I wish I had listened earlier. I always hope that you, the one watching this video, will never have to say those 2 words. I wish. The heart, when you think about it, is like a lifelong friend. It has been with you through every year, beating for every joy, every tear. It never complains, even when you stayed up late, ate poorly, or carried heavy worries. It only knows how to endure, to keep you alive. But sooner or later, it grows weak. And if you don't listen in time, it may collapse in silence. So I hope you don't look at the fruits I've mentioned with suspicion or fear. Don't think of fruit as the enemy. No, they're not to blame. We are the ones who decide their fate on our plate. A few grapes with some almonds, that can be a gentle gift. But finishing a whole bunch while watching a 2-hour movie, that is carelessness. A small glass of orange juice on a Sunday morning, that's enjoyment. Turning it into a daily ritual, that's a challenge for the heart. You see, it all comes down to balance. And I believe, at this age, balance is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. No longer the youthful years of chasing speed or dancing through sleepless nights, but mindfulness in the smallest choices. I want you to remember this question. Does my heart truly need this? Ask yourself before each meal, before reaching for that extra piece of sweet fruit. That one question alone could save your heart from hundreds of weary beats. And I want you to believe this. It is never too late to change. I once had a patient, age 75, who after a heart attack decided to completely change her diet. She cut back on sugar, reduced sweet fruits, and switched to apples, berries, young pears. Just a year later, her health improved so much she surprised even herself. She told me, "I thought at this age there was nothing left I could do for my heart. But it turns out the heart forgives when you truly love it." That reminded me of a philosophy. It is never too late to befriend your own heart. Whether you are 50, 60, or 70, every choice you make today can rewrite tomorrow's story. Your heart doesn't need much. It only needs your respect. Respect it by eating in moderation. Respect it by listening when it beats irregularly. Respect it by letting it rest, instead of exhausting it with meals overloaded with sugar, water, or potassium. You've lived through half your life, perhaps more. You've given your youth to family, work, children. Now, give these years to yourself, to your heart. For what could be more precious than a heart strong enough to enjoy every sunrise, every embrace from your grandchildren, every sunset from your porch? So if there is one thing I want you to carry with you after this video, it is this. Love your heart with small but steady choices. Skip 1 glass of orange juice, 1 bunch of grapes, half a watermelon. In return, you'll gain more peaceful years, more moments to live fully with those you love. Do you agree with me that the heart is our most priceless treasure and nothing can replace it? If you do, then I hope you begin today. Begin with your very next meal. And if this video has sparked a thought, a decision, I hope you'll share your experience in the comments. Because I believe when we speak out, we not only help ourselves but inspire others who are also on this journey of caring for their hearts. Thank you for listening to me, as if an old friend were sitting across from you, speaking with all sincerity. Remember, your heart has kept the rhythm for your whole life, and now it's time you return the favor, with love and mindfulness. May you find peace in every single heartbeat.